オを仮面に受けて
Hey everybody, it's me, Tristan J, your reaction examiner, and I'm doing something non-game related, which is actually not that weird because I've done a lot of things before that are not game related. But I want to try and bring my podcast back that I started a long time ago, and it's been a hiatus for I don't know. I do the Team Ops thing, but I want to do something that's more random and something I tried a long time ago, and I kind of want to get off the ground. So today, to get it off the ground, slightly inspired that Power Rangers turned 20 in America at least, and as of August, the original airing was August 28th, 1993, and it's 2013, so boom, there you go, do the math, and 20 years later, here we are. But for those of you who may not know, Power Rangers is a lot older than that. So, to talk about that with me, we have Shay.
Hello.
And we've heard Shay before in a few episodes of Bizarre Bits. And also, if you listen to Mops, he's done some erotic readings as well.
Yes, I have.
So, yeah, Shay, why don't you get into what I was alluding to before?
Okay, so, before Power Rangers existed, there was a Japanese television show for children called Super Sentai.
Hold on. Well, I like how you have to... We're talking about Power Rangers, and I like how you have to say it's for children.
Sometimes it has to be specified. I know I get a little too into them, and...
There was a porn called Sentai that was later adapted into the Power Rangers. And all the porn was taken out. That'd be amazing. That'd be an amazing history. We'd be on a different podcast right now if that was the case.
I'm still trying to track that one down, actually.
Oh, we'll talk about that later, but go on, get into this thing now.
So...
What is Sentai?
Sentai, to just literally translated, means fighting squad. They were mostly formed during World War II. They were like our fire squads in our military, where they're 5 to 10 men. They are heavily armed and blah, blah, blah. This is about grown-ups in spandex, color-coordinated, having to fight good and evil are illustrated in front of you. It's very... A lot of the things are very cut and dry. They're very, this is good, this is bad. Especially with the older seasons.
Well, we're talking about Power Rangers. I don't think anyone's going to listen to this if they don't know what that is in the first place. So I think you pretty much summed up what I would say what people know. Why don't you talk about like what this first season was? So in 1975.
1975.
The way back machine.
Way back in time. They're
fucking, what is that? Like almost 20 years before Power Rangers started in America.
Yeah. There was Go Ranger and, well, Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger, otherwise known as Secret Task Force 5 Ranger. And the concept was actually brought around because, well, at least I read this, that Ishinomori saw how popular our comics were doing over there. Specifically X-Men, and another series that was on air, the Science Ninja Team, Gotcha Man, was very, very popular at the time. And this...
But Gotcha Man, that was Japanese, wasn't it, though?
Yeah.
Okay. So actually Gotcha Man came out first, and then... Okay. But he also got inspired by X-Men. That's interesting.
Yeah. So, he made up a team... Because he was already in with Toei, the company that produces the show, because he was making another one of his comics into a TV series already, which was Kamen Rider. And
so Kamen Rider does predate this.
Yeah, by 5 years.
5 years, really? Mm-hmm. Okay. I didn't know. I was about to ask you if there's any live action things prior to this. Was Kamen Rider like the first big live-action costume hero kind of thing?
Actually, it was Ultraman. Ultraman came out in 1961 or 2.
That's the dude with like the red tights and he has like a silver face.
Yeah, he's an alien that comes to Earth, and he usually partners up with some human that dies in the first episode.
Okay, well, so I've been trying to find old games to play with you,
Hmm.
and a lot of them are like team ups either with Gundam, Ultraman, and like a Sentai
That
thing,
game
or
looks really
or
fun.
variations thereof. It's like, why is Ultraman in here?
Yeah.
So let's
So
looking at a picture here. That's probably pop up unless you're listening to a pure audio, which you'll not see. But you can just fucking Google this shit. So, um, they have, you know, if you look at this, people would think this is Power Rangers or whatever. They got the tights,
hmm
they got the helmets.
hmm
Um, you can tell it's very 70s though, just the
they have
coloration,
very
and
dramatic
not,
poses.
and they have giant goggles, especially the heart one, as if you needed to know that the Pink Ranger's pink. Having like a giant heart for a mask is.
So, little known fact, the stunt actor who played Momo Ranger was actually a guy.
Are they all guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I don't know this. So normally, are the actors the same, or they stunt people are usually in the
It
costumes?
depends on the show. Usually for Sentai, it was one of those things that Toei had learned their lesson from letting certain actors do their own stunts, specifically Kamen Rider, because the lead actor, Hiro.
Was Jackie Chan was Jackie Chan and Kamen Rider?
Well, we watched that video. Segata Sanshiro, that guy.
Okay.
He had said he was gonna jump off this bike and do a flying kick. Right? He got the
Was he the original? Was he the original Kamen
yeah.
Rider? Oh, he looks like the guy that sings like all these Sentai things. It's always this for the
Oh
first like 5 years. It sounds the same.
yeah. Oh, but yeah. Rumor has it that he got the bike going like 45, 50, and he was on a gravel road because all the battles take place in quarries or some place that's unpopulated.
Some leafy area, yeah.
Well, when he attempted to jump off the bike, the the front like skewed and he threw himself and he broke his leg. Out of it all, he broke his leg. So they had to create a new character to take over for him while he was recuperating.
So he's just like, oh, he's gone somewhere. So this guy's gonna save the world now.
Right. And that's how you get Kamen Rider 1 and 2.
Let's move
Back to
on.
Go Ranger. They
So Go Ranger became popular.
Right. And the show is about they were each of them worked for a specific branch across Japan. Well, when Black Black Cross shows up, they destroyed all of them. So each member is actually from a different faction. So it's literally bringing 5 different teams into one team, even though they're all the last survivors, and the only way they survived is they were transformed into cyborgs.
Oh, so they're
Yeah,
cyborgs.
it plays off of Ishinomori's like favorite thing.
Okay, very good.
So
And then they fight evil, etc., etc.
and the bad guys in Go Ranger are so kooky, and the show, it's actually the longest Sentai ever televised. It ran for nine. No, it didn't run for that long, did it?
It says right on Wikipedia. It says 95 or 75 to 77.
Right. I think it ran for like 90 episodes. If my
Wow.
memory is right. It
So for I guess 3
oh
years, depending on like when it starts or whatever, for 90 episodes, that's a fucking lot of episodes.
yeah, and I mean this was a weekly show, so it had a pretty good
So fucking no breaks for these guys. Just
no.
fucking go, go, go.
And the thing about their helmets is that's actually where their signature weapons came from.
They come out of
Yeah,
they pull them out of
they
their
rip
faces.
the black part off of their helmet, and that becomes their weapon. Though it doesn't disappear. It just like their weapon looks kind of like what their mask thing is. Like Blue has a bow, so he pulls off his mask, and it looks
I guess it looks like a pointy
yeah.
arrow.
And Green has a boomerang. Red has a whip, which it can turn into a staff, like a fighting staff, but usually it's a whip. Yellow has this ridiculous walkie-talkie that only works against one bad guy.
What?
It's called the YTC, and he only uses it once, and he blows up this. They call him Battleship Mask, because he's a guy that wears a giant battleship for a head, like a. Pink's mask actually doesn't do anything. She has bombs in her. She has earrings on her helmet, and
Okay.
But she also is the one to initiate the combo attack. This was before they had giant robots. They used to defeat them with something that looked vaguely like a football.
What? What's with the football thing? The football thing
It's
I'll get to that later. I saw some pictures earlier, but so they summon a football and they throw it at somebody?
They pass it. Like, pink goes to... Well, let's see. Pink goes to green, green goes to yellow, yellow goes to blue, and then blue either holds it or he chucks it in the air, and red does, like, this kick and will blow up the bad guy. Well, in the second version of the attack, because the first version ends up becoming obsolete, the ball will become like the vice to the bad guy. So say the bad guy of that episode was like addicted to eating ramen. Well, it would look like a bowl of ramen.
The football would turn into
Right.
ramen?
It would like disguise itself as something that they really liked, so they'd go up to it and start like chowing down and they'd blow up.
What? So they launch this thing at the monster and then turns into ramen. He's like, well, surely they wouldn't throw anything bad at me?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
that happened for 90 episodes?
that kind of happened.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the second season.
Jaka.
70 and 77, which is, I figured this out by looking at their elements. It's Jack, Ace, King, Queen,
Yep.
correct?
Otherwise known as Jaka. The Blitzkrieg Squad.
So,
Yeah.
what's Jaka about?
Jaka was the second season, and it is noted as being the shortest season. It only ran for 28 episodes.
Oh, shit. 28 episodes. What a
It was,
crime.
speaking of crime, that was the name of the organization that they fought.
No way, just crime with a K?
CRIME. It was an acronym.
Okay, what's the acronym stand for?
I don't know. It's just like in Common Writer. Shocker's an acronym for something, but I never know what it means.
So, well, does Jaka, does that translate besides Jack, Ace, King, Queen, or is it
those
something
are
else?
those are literally the names of the characters.
Okay, well, what are
Jack,
they?
Ace, King, and Queen. They were. They're just 4 individuals, and they were also turned into cyborgs. I don't quite know what the reason was behind it. I just know that the Pink Ranger was pretty important, because the reason she became a cyborg was to avenge her father, who was an Interpol agent who was killed by crime.
Nah! Hold on. You saying her dad was killed by crime is probably the funniest thing I've ever heard. Just because someone telling a backstory and they don't know what you're talking about, like, my father was killed by crime. And, like, what? Well, who are they? Like, you mean like a robber? No, crime did it. Crime's not a thing. Crime. It's like, no, it's an organization. Oh, okay, well.
Yeah. Oh, what was cool about...
My father was killed by flag.
What was interesting about Jaka, which, unlike Go Ranger, there were no, like, transformation devices. Pretty much they just screamed out their color and spun around and they were in their suit.
Okay.
Well, in Jaka, they wanted to create, like, tension for the episode. So the only way Jaka could transform is if they had these capsules, which they look kind of like sleeping, like hibernation chambers, or like cryogenic tubes.
So that, like, a big
Yeah,
thing?
they had to friggin' fly this thing in, drop it, and they had to quickly run in and change before they got killed.
So did this guy see Superman and he's like, I want that. I want that in a season of Sentai.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. Also, I see their helmets are even more ridiculous. Did they pull things out of their face as well?
No, they were mostly just martial artists, actually. They had two different versions of combo attacks. The Before the inclusion of Big One, who was their fifth.
The Rainbow Man,
Right.
the Rainbow Man,
Yep.
right? Yeah. I got a picture of this dude with his just. I can see his balls and his.
Yeah, they're pretty
essentially.
prominent. But yeah, before the inclusion of Big One, they used to like run up and pretty much group hug a monster. And because each one of their
Hold on, was that their combo attack? Was that how they defeated? They just group hugged him.
and he blows up.
We'll stop crying with hugs.
Because let's see. Red was nuclear powered. Blue was electric powered. Green was gravitational powered, and pink was magnetism.
Hold on, this thing isn't. This is all over the place. Hold on, okay. So these guys are cyborgs.
Yes.
And they're based on cards.
Right.
And they fucking jump in a tube to transform. And then they fucking have powers like nuclear and magnetism.
Yeah.
How does any of that correlate with each other? Especially when the dad worked for Interpol, it's trying to stop crime. Magnetism. That's pretty crazy. Well, that's the 70s. The 70s pretty weird. And there's a fucking giant rainbow man.
Oh yeah, Big One. Big One was actually their last ditch effort to make it more popular to kids.
Why? Was he like a wacky dude? Or...
He threw roses. He was kind of like Tuxedo Mask.
I was gonna say that. So kids like roses? That was their thing?
The forum that I used to be on, we used to call him Big Pimpin'. Because he looks like he's in like pimp attire the whole, like every time. He's got like an ascot.
He does have a staff.
Yeah.
And he has a cape.
He's got a cane. He's got this pimp suit. He's got a like.
Okay. Oh, he's called Big
Yeah.
One. Big One Pimp. Let's see what happens with that. Nope, that doesn't come with anything. With a lot of black people and some pimps. Justin Bieber.
No.
Hold on. I'm gonna put this. Okay, I typed in Big One Pimp, and there's a picture of Justin Bieber talking to Rihanna. I'll put it in the chat for you, and it should be the video that you're watching right now, folks. But I don't know if this has to relate to Google search, but
Google knows what it's talking about.
Leon did what? Okay. So they fight crime.
Right.
Still no mechs or anything.
Nope. It was
okay.
It was when Jaka got canceled that Toei made this deal with Marvel Comics.
Oh really? Is this the only season that got canceled?
Yeah.
Or... Oh really? Okay. I guess that makes sense because they popularity of the first one, it seems, having to go so long, and then I guess it's hard to make a sequel to something.
And Jaka was actually the last season that Ishinomori penciled himself. It was kind of his departure. He decided he wasn't really a team kind of author, so he went back to doing mostly writer stuff.
Okay. I suppose most of the writer stuff is single. It is hard to write with a bunch of people instead of just one person. It's so the next
the show was actually...
So was the show on a year, or was there like a 2-year hiatus then?
Yeah,
it says
there
77 and 79.
Yeah, there was nothing on, but Toei had made this deal with Marvel, and that's how we got the really really scary Japanese Spider-Man.
So was this in between then?
A lot of people consider Toei's Spider-Man to be the precursor to what led up to the Super Sentai genre. Oh, It was horrible. Spider-Man had a watch.
I've seen clips of that, on Conan and stuff.
Ridiculous robot. Ugh.
He was a robot?
Yeah, his car... You remember G Gundam? How Domon's car like flies into the back of the Gundam and it like
Actually, no, I don't. I don't remember
well yeah,
that.
the car flies up into the robot and then that's how he like that's like how he controls it from the car inside the robot.
You know, I don't know much about the Spider-Man. You know, when I see like clips, I've seen clips and stuff on like shows and shit. And I thought it was like actually just like fake or like commercials or something. But this is an actual big
Yeah,
show.
it was on during 78. It's cringeworthy. It is very cringeworthy. But Stan Lee does cameo in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm watching. I'm watching a trailer for it.
It was pretty horrible.
Whoa! No! Hold on. He has a fucking gun.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. That's how he shoots webs.
And he has a. No, I mean he had a fucking machine gun.
Oh,
Shit.
never mind. Right. He has a motorcycle too.
Oh my gosh! I don't want to talk about Sentai anymore. I want to fucking transition into this shit. What the fuck is happening? Why is there a cyber? Is this? Okay, so this guy left, and then Marvel made a deal with Toei, and it's like we need something to fill the gap or something.
It was a time slot filler. Though they probably like Marvel was probably looking to get a better foothold since they knew that their comics were selling well over here or over there. I'm sorry.
Marvel was selling well in Japan.
Right. They were doing very well. Of course, Batman's really popular in Japan too.
Is there a Japanese Batman?
No.
Oh,
I
shit.
have.
I want to see Batman with fucking lightsabers and like machine guns, doing the exact opposite of what he swears to do.
I have seen some pretty cool fan art of what someone imagines Batman would look like in the 70s. He looks like a gotcha man.
That makes sense. So, okay, so they did. How long did the Spider-Man go?
Only a
Just
year. Yeah.
Okay, but how many episodes about?
Oh, I don't know. I'm guessing probably around the normal 50 something.
That's a normal.
Well, normal for a Japanese like children's show. They're usually on like during the week, or no, they're only on Sundays. I'm sorry.
This trailer is amazing. This is totally Power Rangers. He has a robot. He's fighting. Looks like putties. This is crazy. Yeah. This makes sense that this is like the prelude. So is the next season? Do they finally get mechs? Okay. So let's segue into Battle Fever J, which is a pretty awesome name for anything.
Right.
It's a bunch of. I mean, in Japan, just a bunch of words fucking throw together that sounds cool. Battle Fever J.
Well, Battle Fever J is actually the name of the main character. He's
That's his
Battle
name?
Fever Japan. They're all called Battle Fevers, but
okay, so like Battle Fever Soviet Russia.
Yeah, there's Cossack, there's Africa, France.
Is Africa black? Is he the black one?
Well, he's still Japanese, but he wears jungle clothing.
Jesus, that's all I wanted to know. Yeah, I'm looking at a picture right now.
There's Miss America.
Oh, really? That's America.
Yeah, the one girl in there is America.
I suppose that. I guess that kind of looks like an American thing. I wasn't quite sure. So is it Italy? Italy, Russia, Africa?
It's
or is that Spain?
France, Africa,
France. Okay.
Japan, and
France, and some of those countries have the exact same flag except like different rotations.
Rotation of the color.
Okay, so, all right. And fucking, this is the scariest team I've ever seen.
And they are dancers. I'm just letting you know that.
They are dancers.
Yep.
Explain this season to me then.
Okay, so this.
My father was killed by dancers. He was critiqued poorly and he killed himself. And now I fight crime.
I actually know very little about Battle Fever other than it's the first season to have a robot.
Okay, so that does make sense. So Spider-Man directly feeds into
Battle Fever J.
What they will become. Well, I do like this that they incorporate a bunch of different nations. I don't suppose has there been any other seasons that's been typical, like different countries and stuff like that.
Goggle 5 has something kind of like it, but it's like ancient civilizations.
It'd be really hard just because you'd have to find people that can speak Japanese. But it'd be interesting to see like a season of Sentai where it would be 5 different countries, and they would be from those countries, or at least look like they're from those countries. You know,
Yeah.
not a bunch of Japanese people from these different countries or whatever. It'd just be interesting. I think it'd be like a hard task to take on, but
It
I think it'd
would.
be definitely interesting or whatever. But yeah, these guys are probably the scariest I've seen. I only say that because Russia, the way his hands are positioned, looks like he's gonna fucking strangle somebody. Um, and the fucking creepy masks with their mouths
Yeah.
and her hair, Miss America, like her hair and that creepy mouth just look creepy. And then France looks like Mega Man kind
He
of.
does. No, he
His
totally
helmet,
does.
except for his creepy mask, his
It's
mouth
it's
mask.
those mouthpieces.
And why is Russia a pharaoh? He looks like a pharaoh, like a pharaoh helmet thing. Doesn't make any sense. And yeah, the tribal Africa thing. I guess that makes sense. And I don't, the tribal thing. I suppose in Africa, but and to make him black, I don't know. I don't know. But for a lot of times, like the American
Well,
seasons, the
if you
Black
look at
Ranger
like different
was
pictures
black.
of Battle Kenya, that was his name. It's Battle Japan, Miss America, Battle France, Battle Cossack, and Battle Kenya.
So she can't be a battle. She has to be
Yeah,
Miss.
because she's a girl. Girls can't do shit.
Yeah. Well, it was the '70s, so yeah, girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Um, so I think, okay, so they're dancers,
Correct.
and what? What are they? What's happening?
Okay, so they say they're dancers, but it's like different martial arts styles still. Like
But why are they fighting?
what are they fighting?
Yeah, I suppose that also makes
They're
sense.
fighting egos.
Egos.
The secret society. According to Wikipedia, it is a religion.
So you don't know anything.
I
If you don't know
know
anything about
very
it,
little about Battle Fever. It honestly, the costume scared me. Like it's those mouthpieces, and I tend to not like mouthpieces on helmets. And I know this is like a Sentai taboo because so many of them have those creepy mouthpieces. But when they try to make them look like lips, it bothers me.
okay, you know that you said creeped you out. Now, when are we talking in this creeped you out?
When did this show creep me out?
Yeah, like when did you start watching? Like, okay, we'll actually get into that when we talk about
All right.
Orange. So let's move on ahead. I want to do one more thing before we move on to something I can relate to more.
right.
So I sent you a picture. This is Taiyo Sentai Sun Vulcan, and they have footballs. This is skipping. Okay, so we're skipping.
We're skipping
Denshi
Denzi
Sentai.
Man.
Yeah, that did look normal. And then in '81, there's a Sun Vulcan thing.
Which
And so this is
Sun Vulcan
so.
has such a cult following.
Are they football players?
No, that's just their team attack. This is one of the only teams.
Going back to footballs again.
Yeah, I don't.
They love America. That's because that's an American sport.
Yes,
Why
yes,
does
it is.
Actually, is there football? I guess there is
There
football
is.
in Japan. 'Cause
It's called American
there's-
football.
there is-
Though they
right. That
have
makes
to
sense,
add
yeah.
the American in there.
So yeah, so they're using footballs, and that's all I want to say about it. Do you have anything to say about this Tulkin Sun
Sun
Man?
Vulcan was one of the only times a team is only comprised of 3 members. It was also the very first season that they replaced somebody. Or, no, that's a lie. They replaced the Yellow Ranger and Go Ranger. But this is the first season that they replaced a Red during the season.
I did notice that this is the first one that I looked at that had 3, because I'm actually used to seeing 3 people just from talking to you and you showing me new seasons and stuff.
But Sun Vulcan has quite a following. I really like the helmet designs in this, and the fact that they're still wearing like some form of suede.
Yeah, but yeah, the helmets do look pretty
They got this.
normal.
They
They
got
don't.
this real ornate animal on top of their helmets, except for Blue. Blue's is totally a shark, but the panther and the eagle are just like bronze things on top of their heads.
Well, they gotta decorate it somehow. So, I noticed in some of the seasons, like if there's a comprise of 3,
Hmm.
usually there's more people that
Yeah,
join
later
later
on.
on. Did they? Did Vulcan have that?
Nope. Red got replaced, and that's about it.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah. Okay. Well, let's just skip a bunch of this stuff and let's take a break here. And when we come back, we're gonna talk about the origins of how Power Rangers came over here.